Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to my cow barn experimentation station. I will build a cow barn. Right now I'm planning on building a cow barn for my German map Sommerfeld, and it will be available as a separate mod as well. And later I will also build an American cow barn, so some of the thoughts that I have right now could apply for the American barn as well. But now it's about the German one. And the building style will be like that. So with stone wall down there with plaster and wood further above and so. But it won't be this building. I will build a different buildings, especially for this cow barn. And yeah, I was already talking with my German audience about their wishes and such, and then we got the idea to make a bale storage on top of the cows, which is typical for German cow barns. I don't know whether it's also typical for Americans. And yeah, I found out how I could do this to combine a cow barn with a bale storage. That's possible. And then I had further ideas. And to check those further ideas out, I built this contraption. The cow barn won't look like that, don't worry. This is just to test the functionality, whether it works at all, and to check for the dimensions, how high it needs to be, how big those nooks need to be, and so forth. And yeah, I want to show you what is the idea behind this contraption, and if the idea is good for the later cow barn, and then you can tell me what you think about it. So imagine here between those posts are the walls of the cow barn, and here we have the open area where we go and feed the cows. So this cow barn will function like a perfectly normal cow barn. You could drive there with your, let's just do it. You could drive there with your tractor and bring the cow food. Like so. And I guess I will still make it a little bit higher that you can unload with a trailer, because when it's full, the trailer goes further up and it hits the ceiling, and it shouldn't hit the ceiling. At least not those small trailers. And for really big trailers, I had the idea to make an additional unloading trigger, maybe here, outside of the barn. But that's a different topic. Right now, this is about the bale storage and my crazy idea to go a step further with the bale storage. So let's just put a bale here. Let's take a silage bale. Here it is. This is a lift. Later it will be a metal lift or something like that. And now we can go up together with our bale. So, and there you can see the bale storage is over there. And here we have the unloading station and this management icon and such. And we have openings. And Or maybe I say something about the openings right now. I don't know how it is in America, but in old-fashioned German cow barns, we have bale storage above the cows, and then you can throw the bales through a hole down to the feeding area. And before it was not about bales, but loose hay, and they just had those piles of hay there, and then they came with their big forks and getting the hay and throwing them down. But now it's about bales usually. And I like this idea to be able to store the food here and then throw it down. Yeah. But how to do this in Farming Simulator? Because the bales are too heavy and I don't want to have other mods as a prerequisite. It's a required mod for this cow barn. It should work on its own with base game functionalities, even for consoles. And therefore we have a problem. The bale is there, and we want it there, and later we want to have it here in this hole. So then I thought, okay, I need to build pushers. And I did. Here we have the first pusher. Zip, that was a push to the unloading area, and here it is in the bale storage. And now we use the spawn function of the bale storage. So this is just a normal bale storage. The only difference is it is not on the ground, but it is on top of the cow barn. And yeah, I want one silage bale. And here it is. This is the spawn area where it spawns when you get it from here. And now, how to bring it down here? It's just too heavy for us. We need a different pusher. And I made a pusher here. Whoosh. And now it's down there and it disappears. Oh, we need to check how much food we have in the area. So I can promise you the silage counted before it was only like 5,000 liters. And we have total mixed ration, 31,000 liters, and hay, 15,000 liters. Yeah, so far this is okay, I would say. It works. It's funny in a way how it works, and it's not too complicated. And the cows are rather happy with their silage food. You could also throw down hay bales or even grass bales. But the cows in Farming Simulator will never be completely happy, only 80%. And so it's not a perfect way to treat your cows in Farming Simulator. In former times it was perfectly fine to just give them hay and they were perfectly happy, but now cows require total mixed ration. What to do? First I thought, maybe I could integrate a fermenting silo into all this contraption. And then I thought about all those triggers and areas that you would need and thought, no, that's going to be much too complicated. And yeah, I also didn't want to add a feeding robot or things like that. because there are already cow barns with feeding robot. They can do their own stuff. This should be a simple medium-sized cow barn, but I don't know whether my ideas is simple enough in the end. So we will see. Yeah, my crazy idea was I could make a fill type converter. And as I did with my productions, so it converts corn to wheat, that we can make flour from all different kinds of crops and only have one recipe in the list. And then I thought, maybe here I could do a fill type converter as well. So it doesn't need to be a dedicated production building. It could just be something magical. Yeah, and I installed a special unloading trigger underneath the ceiling that converts the silage or the hay to total mixed ration. And before, in my first try, this was an empty opening like that one there. But some people didn't like it. It's always like that some people don't like things that I think about. But I thought, maybe I could do something to make it more plausible. And this black box here is a symbol for something like a funnel or so, with some maybe wheels inside, and that symbolize the mixing process. So if you throw silage into this funnel machine, it comes out as total mixed ration down there at the cows. That is the idea. And now I show you how it works. Like so. We get another square bale of silage, like so. And here I have the next pusher. Whoosh! It disappears very, very fast, because it needs to be very fast. It's only for a small part of a second flying downwards, and at the ground level we have the normal trigger, and here we have 37,000 liters of total mixed ration. So it was transformed. And somehow I personally like this idea a lot. And if I would build the cow barn with this mechanism, I would use it only with this TMR transforming funnel-like machinery. And I think usually I wouldn't use the normal thing, but you could use the normal thing for the straw, for example. And yeah, so that is more or less my first question to you. What do you think about this idea with bale storage above the cow barn, with those openings to throw down the bale, and with this special function to make TMR on the fly, literally speaking? Yeah, that is the first question. And now we have the second topic. You see all those symbols here, and maybe you already thought, oh, this is going to become complicated. I will never know where to go and click to do my things. And I thought maybe I could do a little wooden wall, half height, so not high wall, just to the hip or so, and then install some buttons there and make symbols what they are all about. So little images to show what they do. I would take this here also, so all symbols except this one, because this is standardized. But all those other thingies I would put at the wall with something like a button. And you would get further information if you would go there and open the help menu. Now we have, I wrote it in German just for this test, push TMR, and I would write more that it's understandable for what this button is. And you would find a symbol that, I guess, with TMR and maybe a magic wand or something like that. And yeah, that would be my idea to make this, all those triggers a little bit simpler. Yeah, that's my next question. What do you think about that? And then I want to show you a different possibility how to use this if you don't want to use those pushing walls. You could need, is it a skid steer loader? I think something like that. Let's look at the shop. They write it. Skid steer loader. Yeah, a skid steer loader. Because this is really small. And I could make the opening at this lift area big enough for this little guy. Okay, here we are. And we could drive inside. And I think it's a little bit difficult, and especially with the wall. And therefore, because of this skid steer load, it's hard for me to say, sorry. Maybe I just call it the little loader. It's easier for me. So for this, that this little loader can drive around, maybe I would make the walls not very big, but just here from the end of the barn to here or so. And then the little loader could drive around here. So now we try to put this bale, this hay bale, with this little loader into one of those openings. Here you would need to have place to drive around and no wall. Okay. And I think if I'm able to do this, nearly everybody should be able to do this. So just throw it inside and the magic happened. Now we have more than 45,000 liters. Yeah, and for that you wouldn't need the pusher. So I think that would could make, not would, but could maybe make two different types of players happy. The one who like to drive with those little loaders in a narrow area, and others who like to use the pushers. Oh, I just got a terrible idea. So let's see whether the pusher can throw the little loader. Yes, yes it can. Okay. Poor little guy, where is it? It's gone. That was not nice of me. Sorry, little loader, but it's standing there, so it doesn't have any problems. Yeah. Okay, that worked fine. And are there other questions? Yeah. So I think on making a little barrier, maybe only like less than knee high around here, maybe just a wooden pole or so, like here, and so that you don't fall into the hole from here. But this needs to be open, obviously, because we want to throw our things inside. Yeah. And then my last question about this would be, how do you like the whole idea? Or is it just too crazy and complicated? And maybe I should just make a bale storage above the cows, like so in this area. Then I could leave this open here, and we would have more place for unloading. And I could make the bale storage triggers here. So here, and then maybe here for the stuff that comes out. Or we wouldn't have this lift, maybe here for the spawn area. That would be just a simple bale and pallet storage, and without all those pushers and thingies and fill type converters, and it would be more conventional, conservative. Yeah, tell me what you think about it. If you want to buy FS25 or a DLC, feel free to use my code OMATANA. You'll find the link for the PC version in the video description. It doesn't cost you anything extra and supports me a lot. Now I wish you a wonderful day, thank you for watching, and all the best till next time. Tschüss!